are back. This is episode 5 of Black
Yeah.
Jaded Uncaged. I'm excited. We saw you in Philly, and that was a fun show. I want to talk to you about that a little bit. I want to
Mhm.
see. I know it's the holiday time. Kind of ease into the end of the year, and then gear up for January, February, starting to go back into shows. Want to hear what you're doing, what you're buying, what you're selling. Talk about Jalen Hurts because the guy's a
Yeah.
juggernaut. I know you still have some, you sold some, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So welcome
Yeah.
back.
Thank you. I'm excited. I hear a lot of positive about the show. I get stopped even in actually Philly show, and I'm shocked. It's like, oh, I love your show. I love the feedback. It's like nobody talks about that type of stuff. I'm like, cool.
It's good. Listen, I get all the
Mhm.
negative stuff, so I'm glad you're getting all the positive. I'm just kidding. Now we only get positive stuff. It's a different type of content, right? We focus on the
Yeah.
shows, and people like your take on stuff, right? Because there's a lot of content out there, and there's not many people who are doing what you're doing, who have been here for as long as you do it, that put
Mhm.
out regular content and talk about, hey, this is what I've seen. People love the Jalen Hurts stuff when we talked about, comparing them. Hey, when he go on a run, when he's 6-0, 7-0, he's not going to finish the season undefeated. And you were right about that. Take advantage of that hot
Mhm.
streak. And people really,
Mhm.
we got a lot. I think that's the most comments we got. And you have
Yep.
some, you have some unique takes on this stuff because you've seen this, you're not just buying Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle like me. You're wheeling and dealing, and you're seeing the deal flow, and you're at tables, and you're setting up, and you're seeing what the kids are doing, and you're seeing the lack of patience from people like Andrew that shows.
Yeah, I was hanging out with Andrew for a little bit, checked out his pickup, and next thing you know, he comes back the next day and they're all gone. It's a whole new set of cards. I'm like, okay.
I mean,
But
listen,
it's I could see that a lot. A lot of younger kids doing that. It's cool, and sometimes they do make money.
yeah. I mean, listen,
Mhm.
on a Friday, he's a Jordan Poole fan, but by Sunday, he's a fan of somebody
Nope,
else.
all gone. It's
It's the
like,
way
oh
it
yeah, it's
works.
like let's buy Tatum, and next thing you know, he just picked up this nice Tatum. It's gone. I'm like,
He's gone.
okay,
See you later. Tatum finished. I don't like Tatum anymore. Yeah, he had a bad
nothing
game.
even happened.
I got a question for you, Cards, then we can jump
Okay.
into the show, right? Because the people love your stuff. And I don't know whether you own any of your stuff, but two people I want to mention, because I have a take, but I want to hear your take. Brock Purdy is the 49er quarterback that we're
Yep.
going to see a million posts about,
Oh yeah.
when this episode comes out, we probably will
Hmm.
see 3,000 posts because he beat Tom Brady and
Yep.
he had a great game. He was up like 28-0 at halftime and he was Mr. Irrelevant and people are going to compare him to Tom Brady. And I see, he doesn't have too many cards, elite, a certified, he's got some cards that are out. What would you tell people? Like if somebody came into your store right now and said, hey, I'm going to go and buy some Brock Purdy stuff, what would you say?
The good part is he might still have the job for a few more weeks and probably till the playoff because the
Yep.
two quarterbacks are gone. The only thing is I will be a little hesitant on buying on eBay right now because they're insanely high. I've seen a number to 249, not a good product, stickers like $300-400.
Yeah.
It's so that's where the hobby gets a little misleading, because most of the time it will drop back. Well, if he wins a championship, then great. If you buy a 250, it could be $1,000. Yes,
Yes.
but to be honest, if you open some product the past few months and you happen to have a Purdy and you didn't move it because it was $5 before, sell them right now.
Agreed.
What are the odds of him, getting 500 and staying at 400-500? So,
People are
but
buying now with the thought that he might
yeah,
do that, right? So you're capitalizing
yeah.
on the folks who want to buy,
Mhm.
hoping it goes up, right? You're
Yes.
not going to be able
If you were
to.
buying yesterday
Mhm.
at maybe $50 to $60, great. Sell some of those too. But it might be good to open some wax because those wax are so cheap right now. And it hasn't officially gone up yet. It might be good to visit your local store and pick up some elites and those type of thing.
Yeah, he's
And
got
yep,
certified cards also. He's in the products with the
yep,
Niners helmet, not like game.
hmm
There's no game footage of him, because he wasn't
yep,
in any game, but he's got,
yeah.
the warm-up
But
stuff.
still, yeah. And so I think those, if you could get them, take advantage right now. He's super hot, but I don't suggest going out. There's I think a $10,000 for a 1-of-1 listed. So I don't suggest going out there and paying 5,000 for that. But you know,
I mean, listen, people are smart who found that. Well, put it up now and take advantage. I
yeah,
mean, those are the people who
mhm,
have that are probably folks like you who know
yes,
the cycle works.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the person who's going to buy it for $5,000 or $10,000 is somebody who's going to put it up on Instagram,
Yeah.
look like odds, and then they won't post on Instagram when they paid $6 for it. But in a couple weeks or months, they got to sell it for $2 or
Yeah, it's
less.
very
That's what
possible.
happens.
Yeah,
You know,
especially it's not good product. I always tell people wait till like deeper in the season to buy any quarterbacks anyways, because the better product comes out. So all this cheaper product, it's good to sell right now. None of
uh,
this holds value. So
agreed. So the other end of the
mhm.
spectrum, a different sport, Zion.
Yes,
He's had a heck of a run here. He's gone like 30 something points and a bunch of rebounds, big wins, crazy windmill dunks, pissing off opponents. He looks good. He looks healthy. He looks
yes.
like
Mhm.
uh, the
The
player we
guy
thought
that
he
it
was
was
going to be.
supposed to be.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So
I
what are your
always
thoughts on
told
Zion?
people. I always told people if he's healthy, he could leap past Giannis and Luca because he's that type. The game is very easy for him. So to me, my only question always was his health. If he could be healthy, he is great. He could be top five.
Mhm.
But my thing is, he's an impact player too. It's not just he could fill the stat. He's an impact player. So to me, if you have some, don't sell it right now. Wait a little bit more because it's just, and not only that, people. It actually took him literally almost three weeks of games for even to get to the stage. He was
Correct.
putting up those number already for 7 8 games, and to me, it's just taking a little longer because people are hesitant to talk about him. But now, finally, after last game, when he did that dunk, you need that type of headline to push you over. And here we are. And there are people, if you check on eBay, that are panicking already. Let's buy some Zion now because I
Yeah.
think it's gonna go up. So it's like I have this mosaic blue card, right? PSA 10. A month ago, they were like 700. They're literally listed now for 3,000. So, it's starting, and momentum is it's just starting, I think. And, if he keeps up and stay healthy, we don't know where we're going. It could be another, and this could be the one that pulls the whole basketball market a little bit because it's kind of stagnant a little.
Zion's a fun one, right? So, I
Yeah.
mean, me, I try to buy stuff with a real long-term hold. I think Zion's one where I think you're right. I think there's some. If I had his stuff, I'd be looking to sell probably pretty soon, to be honest. But because
Hmm.
but the only flip side is he never really saw the dip, right? People have been holding him. There's a lot of money
Hmm.
in Zion. People have been
So my
holding him.
question with that, when you said that
Yep.
is, I don't want to cut you off, but I
Yeah,
meant
shoot.
like, let's say if it's an NT you bought when it was like 70,000. That's why I don't suggest
Yeah.
selling
Yes, of
because
course.
it's still
You're
at 40.
you're underwater at no. I wouldn't sell
Exactly.
underwater. No, but
Exactly.
if you bought Zion coming into the season, like in the run up of the season, saying I think
Hmm.
Zion's finally healthy, I'm going to buy him. Like
Yep.
I'd be looking to move a little bit of it now.
Yes.
But what would scare me is I think he could stay healthy and really
Yes.
contribute for this whole season,
Yep.
right? And normally a fourth year player
Hmm.
finally putting it together in his fourth year is not enough, right? People would
Hmm.
have given up on him by now. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter that Sam Darnold won today. Most people are not running out and buying Sam Darnold's cards, although he
Yes.
could still win the
Especially, yeah.
division. And by the way, a little
But
sneaky
but
play
see,
there.
he put up bad numbers though. Zion has
Yes,
never been healthy and put up bad number. He's
Zion's the
always
difference.
been, yes, that's the difference. If he's healthy, he always put up good numbers. It's just he's never fully healthy.
Zion's
So
cards alone have not gone down different than the market. If Zion's
yep,
price went down, it's because the market went down. People haven't
yep.
given up on Zion yet the way they gave up on other people. And that's the difference that people have been
Hmm.
waiting for this now. And now people are seeing
Yep.
this and saying, okay, there's a ride to take on the way up here. But I would
Hmm.
be looking at potential exit windows on this one
Yep.
because he's one
Especially if you
ankle,
got it, yeah, cheap. Yeah, definitely. But if you have some bigger pieces that you're kind of in super high, wait a little bit more. I mean, you're already in it anyway.
100%. Yeah, I mean, look, if you bought before and and
Yeah,
even with a little bit of a run up here, you're underwater, you might as well hold.
exactly.
I think there could
Hmm.
be a little bit of a run on Zion. So, I mean, it's just
I mean,
fun to
they're the
watch.
best record in the West.
Yeah, number one seed right now. It's very, very close between like 1 and 8.
Yes, I know.
But
But he
but
just
yeah,
beat,
beat
they just
Phoenix
beat
today.
Phoenix twice. So,
Yeah, beat Phoenix again. I mean, overtime, he
mhm,
had a big game, 30 something points.
yeah.
And he looks the part. I mean, he doesn't take a shot more than 3 feet away from the basket, but it doesn't matter. I mean, impact player, like you said.
Giannis
Um,
does it.
Doesn't either. And Zion travels less too.
Yes. Hmm.
Those aren't travels; they're Euro steps. It's a different definition now. It's legal.
Well, they
Um,
sell that to Luca too, that he carries a
yeah,
lot. So,
yeah, and John, Luca, and Zion,
and
they all
all
do.
of them do.
Basketball's different now. It's just the way it is. All
Yes,
right, so
exactly.
give me a little bit about the Philly show. Then I want to talk to you about Jalen Hurts, and I want to talk to you about your whatnot experiences because you were all over whatnot. You were like the queen of whatnot for a week. Right? It's like queen for a day. You were the queen of whatnot for
Yep,
a
yep.
week.
For a day. I don't know about the week. For a day. So Philly show was actually very busy. A lot of people showed up, especially for the new location. Last show there was the first show there was pretty good, but this show was really packed. But the last two shows, because of the holidays coming up, it's always been busy. To me, those are retail show. So I kind of, put up some more retail stuff that are gifts, 500 and below, and they were selling. So
Good.
those were the trend. I mean, people still came and want to sell their big stuff and trade down, but I'm almost drying on like some of the 2000 and below stuff because everybody just want to trade for those items. And now, whatnot, people need those things. So
Exactly. So, I mean, is there like a churn in the inventory now as you stop going to shows and you take a little bit of a break? Are you buying on eBay to kind of replenish? Are you in store trading? Are you trading on like what are you looking to do
I
to build
never
up?
buy on eBay because
Never.
never, because I try to sell below eBay. So it's really tough for me to buy on eBay when I sell below on eBay.
Yep.
And people don't, okay, I'm not talking about one of one Jalen Hurts, those type of stuff, because I can't replace them from eBay.
Yep.
And I have to pay, astronomical taxes on that one. But I'm talking about like regular 2000 and below pieces. I just, I don't buy those on eBay. I usually buy them on shows. That's why shows are so important to me.
Yep.
I mean, selling is important, but I do shows because of buying.
I'll tell you, it's fun for
Mhm.
folks to go to shows. Andrew and I talked about it in response to our last show, episode 3, that people really loved. The Instagram is not the hobby. It's part of the hobby, but it's not the
Mhm.
hobby. The shows,
Mhm.
and I was at the Philly show with my son. He had a blast. And one of the cool things, there are two takeaways that I had. Number one, you see the deal flow. You see the people. You see trades being made. You see, dealers buying from people. You see people buying
Mhm.
from dealers. You see trades being made. You see who wants what
Yep.
dealers are actually looking for in your case. Ian sold some cards to, one guy who literally just threw them back out on his table to resell, right? Like
Yes.
not even in a case,
Mhm.
just laid them out there. And
Mhm. And
so
they
there are some,
move.
and they move them,
Mhm.
and they move. They probably made money on it, as long as you're willing
Mhm.
to sell to these guys and realize that they have to mark it up and sell it, and they're gonna buy it in bulk and then sell it
Mhm.
over time. At
Yep.
shows,
Mhm.
they can make that profit. You have to be reasonable too. But
Yeah.
so that was cool because it lets you know it's alive and well, and there are deals being made, and people are buying and people are selling. The other thing was, I guess maybe take a listen to this, right? If you have any of these kind of the Philly shows, Chantilly show, like any of these shows near you that you can make it to,
Yep.
wax has gotten cheap in
Mhm.
stores, and you see a bunch of people putting up pictures in Target and no one's buying them.
Yep. Mhm.
Wax is cheap at shows too. People are looking to sell. They have
Yes.
wax. So I mean, Ian bought a bunch of boxes. He bought
That's where I actually buy, to be honest with you. They usually try to beat sometimes dealer net prices. They try to beat whatever store prices because they want to move the inventory so they could get money to get the new wax that are coming out. Because there's a lot of new football wax coming out and they need, money to buy those new wax. So shows are best place to pick up wax.
Yeah, that's what we did. We bought
Hmm.
boxes and boxes that would be, 115, 120 in a
Hmm.
store by us. He was buying for 90 and buy two
Hmm.
of them and they'll give it to you for,
Yeah.
175. They'll give you
Yeah.
$5 off.
Hmm.
And, he was like, wow, we could basically buy 4 for the price. It's going to be 3 at home. And I'm like,
Yeah.
exactly, so go ahead and buy 4, let's go ahead and
And I
buy them.
bought a few for for my whatnot event because I did like free giveaways, tons of free giveaways. So it was
It's
good.
one of those things, right? I mean, you're
Mhm.
paying cash, so the dealer will take a little bit of a better price on it and the
Yep.
whole deal. So it's one of those things that even Ian noticed when we were at the show. Like you can
Hmm.
go there and find wax. I mean, from
Yeah.
Pokemon to sports, they had them all. So,
Hmm.
um, just one of those things. It's not something I would have thought about. Like you'd figure, okay, I can go online and go to a distributor and buy the box
Oh
cheaper.
no,
Not the case.
definitely. I never buy on eBay or distributors. It's like if you have friends that are selling wax, especially some people now, some stores are set up now too in shows.
Mhm.
So now they want to move some of their wax. So that's where they sell them in shows.
Yep. So I mean,
Hmm.
that was a cool, fun takeaway. And did you finally take a week off of shows?
So this was supposed to be my first week off in shows, and I was
See?
so excited. And then whatnot is like this week, you know. Oh my god, it's almost as crazy as running a show, to be honest with you.
Yep. So
It
tell me
was
about the whatnot experience. Tell me about the prep, what you did. Tell me about how you liked it, what you sold, was it successful? I mean, we are, I did a show on whatnot today, Sunday morning football
oh
show on
nice. I know
whatnot. We
you
do one
always
every
post,
Sunday.
yeah.
Yep. So we do a little Sunday
So
stuff. Talk to us.
so I'm trying to find another way to move bigger end cards. Remember some of my frustration with eBay. I love eBay. I think they still the top place to sell, but I am hitting a little issue with them. So
All right. So let's
some
hear it. What's the issue? It's all
some of
right.
my
I know you
bigger
don't like to blow
cards.
people up, but let's go.
I know. We talked about me and Andrew. Some of my 2000 and up auctions are literally not getting paid. And there's tons of new people that are like zero feedback, sneaking in last minute and shilling it, you know.
With no intention of
Um,
paying, just because they probably have the same or similar cards or
yeah,
cards of that person, and they want to make it look
exactly.
like a price is being
Basically,
paid for the
yeah.
card.
Years ago, when you say shilling, it's always bad for the person selling it because they think you're protecting your own card and you don't want to sell it, you know. But now there are new type of basically shillers, people that invested wrong a few months ago and don't want to see a bad comp for their cards.
Mhm.
And those are the people that are just nonstop basically shilling. It's not just me. I spoke to other, higher end auction houses and stuff like that, and it's happening. But
You
I
can't sell a
spoken
Trey
to
Young on
even
eBay for it to be sold. That I see the post all the time. Trey Young,
yeah.
every single card of Trey Young
I
is
had a
shilled.
Trey Young Curry. I literally listed it 3-4 times, and I don't know what to do. But finally, one paid. And I don't know, eBay said they're gonna call me. I set an appointment with them and try to hash some of these things out. And I don't really know what they could really do, but maybe toughen it. I have one of the toughest requirements already, but so they took out like, the zero feedback thing.
Mhm.
You have to, but it's not just, click on zero feedback. No, you have to basically like, this buyer hasn't bid on some of your auction, and then zero feedback. There's no option, just eliminate all zero feedback. That's what I wanted them to do. But they said that's not good. There's a lot of new bidders, new buyers that are possibly trying to, getting in the hobby. And I'm like, not on big cards. Maybe limit them to smaller cards. Maybe put like if you're
Yeah,
buying a 2000 and up,
buying
or
limit,
yes,
exactly.
exactly.
Like, I mean,
Like
they should easily be able to put an algorithm in where it's like
yeah,
until you have feedback, you can't buy a single item
yes,
more than $500 or
exactly. So that's what I'm
$250.
suggesting. Or if you're bidding on something, maybe like you have to have a credit card, maybe some type of deposit in it, something that could eliminate some of those, bidders basically. So those were the frustrations. So that's why I pivot to another, platform and try it out. I obviously use Golden too, but those are like for my bigger pieces. And then obviously I use Alt also. I have some stuff listed in Alt, but I'm willing to try different platforms. So right now, I'm trying out Whatnot. The first day it was a lot of work, but it was fun interacting with new customers. So it's actually like a new area. People don't know me there. So some people are asking, why is Whatnot promoting this woman? Who is she? And then they start seeing like some of the bigger pieces, like, oh my God, why do you have so much like bigger pieces and stuff like that? And I literally didn't even bring anything that big because I'm
You
afraid
should have put the
I
Luca
watch it.
Black Gold rookie on there, started at $1 and see what happens. No?
Yeah, so, but it was fun for, I only had like 50 something later on in the room after an hour, but I sold a decent amount. And I'm excited. They have a big high end show this Saturday, and I got a opportunity to be one of those bigger high end sellers. So let's
So
see.
that's going to be, let's see, Saturday the 17th on
Yep,
Whatnot. That's
Saturday
going
the
to be a high-end
17th.
show starring
It,
yours
it's starting
truly,
at
Black
9
Jaded
o'clock.
Wolf, right there. So that's good. What time
Let's see.
start?
Starts at 9 o'clock for everybody else, but I'm slated at like 10 o'clock.
There we go. So
Mm-hmm.
check that out, guys. Saturday and Whatnot. We
We're
do a
gonna have some
Whatnot show.
Zions.
Zion. I mean, it's a week. Let's hope he
I
continues
know.
the streak for another week. There's no ankle tweak. There's no nothing like
Yep,
that. He's
yep,
a big
yep.
dude.
I
I
know
mean, I
that's
hurt
my
my
issue.
ankle taking the garbage out, and so this guy's out there dunking the ball like windmill style. So I hope he listen.
That
I'm
always
pulling back.
scares
I
me.
don't
That's
own a
why, yeah.
single Zion card. I don't own any because I
Really?
like him. I like his game. I want to watch him play. You name it. But the
If
cards
you
were
like
always.
him, you gotta buy a
But it was
couple.
always too expensive. You know what I mean? It was
Okay.
always too expensive. And even I guess in the off season, so I don't want to say I don't own any. Ian has some, but not
Mm-hmm.
one that anybody wants. I don't know if you've seen the Ian Green Pulsar story, but it's a fun one.
No.
So he
Oh yeah.
pulled
Okay.
he pulled a green Pulsar from a blaster.
Oh, okay. Is
It
it
was
numbered?
out of 25. Yeah, the
Oh
rookie
wow.
Green
Okay.
Pulsar Prism. He pulled it out of a blaster, and it was right when he was a rookie, and it was a
Mm-hmm.
crazy story because it run up. It was at a show, and the blasters were $30, before they ran to 100,
Yep. Yep.
and no one bought them because somebody pulled a Zion base out of one, and the guy had like 5 of them, and so Ian bought one for $30. He got a Zion base, and it was like worth more. And the guy's like, "I'll give you 2 blasters for the one." And we didn't have any, you know what I mean? So I did hang on to it, but it had a little scratch in it. So I gave him $30 more, $35 more, and he bought another one, and he got another Zion in it.
Oh
Right?
wow.
Oh no,
Okay.
he got a Ja Morant in that one, and then the
Oh
third one I
okay.
gave it to him. So we were in for like $105, and the other one he got a Zion in it, and he's like, all right, well now I want the other 2. And people are at the table
Yep.
like, wow, he got a Zion, he got Ja, those are kicked. You should just take
Mm-hmm.
those 2 off the table. No one's ever going to
Yep.
buy them. So he went back with the Zion that had a little scratch on it, gave it to the guy, and said, I'll take your last 2. He took the
Mm-hmm.
last 2. And in the 4th blaster, he got a Zion silver rookie.
Okay.
And the 5th one, he got a Zion green Pulsar out of 25.
Wow,
It was
that's
just like
crazy.
a crazy run. You know what I mean?
That's luck, though. You know how hard that is.
Here he is. This kid was running around with a Gardner Minshew jersey on, and we were like, it was then, that craziness was going on, and people remember this whole story. And he thinks now you get a Zion in every pack you open. So it was terrible for me because now it's like we're opening wax every Friday, and he's like, "Where are all my Zions? What's going on now?
Did you keep it?
Who's Brandon Clark?" Well, that's the fun part of the story.
Oh, okay.
So at the time, I think he has headphones in. At the time, I put it up on eBay just in curiosity. If you look at my Instagram, I have one saved post. It's there. It's like, hey, we pulled this card. What should I do with it? And it was like, I think either number 12 of 25 or 14 out of 25, but it's off centered. Like I didn't think it would grade well. Definitely not a 10. It was off centered. So I put it up on eBay, and somebody offered me like, I don't know, $5,000 or $5,500 for it, something like that. And I was like, all right, let's just take it. And we used it. We bought a whole bunch of other stuff for him.
That's a good offer, though.
Yeah, it was a solid offer, right? And but he started asking me, where is it? And I'm like, oh, I sent it to PSA. I sent the PSA. Don't worry about it. I sent the PSA.
No.
So he just kept. I thought he'd forget about it. We had the silver. I sent that to PSA. He got a 9 on the silver. He still has that card that he pulled out of a pack.
Okay.
I'm like, you probably forgot about it. Whatever. But
no, they don't forget.
Every Friday, I'm opening wax with him from COVID all the way through. Even this past Friday, we open wax every Friday, and we're like, all right, well, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen? And he keeps asking. I'm like, all right. So I posted, I don't know, 6 months ago. I'm like, if anybody has this before the National, I'm looking for this card at the National. If anybody has one, right? It'd be great if it was PSA, whatever. Somebody claimed they had one in BGS 9. It turned out it was like a green wave or a scope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then out of nowhere, someone who listens to our show messages me and says, hey, I heard your couple episodes ago, looking for this. I have one. If you want it, I'll sell it to you. And I'm like, just name your price. He says it's a PSA 9. I'm like, shit, I might actually have to pay more for this. So he sends me a picture of it, and immediately I said, whatever your ask is, I'll pay for it. I think he charged me like $4. I have to go back. I should remember the story. $4,500, very close to what I
to what you sold yours.
Because you take. I was on eBay. You lose the use the money for for eBay fees and the whole deal. I basically break even on the whole deal. But why I said immediately I would take it is because it was the guy I sold it to on eBay. So I actually got back his card.
That's funny.
I put it in a PSA box, like it was coming back from PSA. Finally, he opened it up. And he's like, "Hey, we got a 9!" This whole sham, right? This whole ridiculous.
Okay,
sham.
does he know the truth now?
No clue. No clue. I mean, eventually he'll probably play one of these and be like, "Oh man, this is
Oh, okay. Does he want to show? Because I'm
no,
like,
no, no." He just thought PSA took 3 years. I'm sorry, PSA. I really dragged PSA
oh man.
on that
Mhm.
one. That was a real like backlog victim.
Yeah, that's some crazy backlog. Or you're
Shocked he got
being
a 9.
really cheap.
Yeah, exactly. PSA, it was pretty off center. I'm actually surprised it's a 9, but that's one that will stay with
Mhm.
us forever. I don't
Yeah.
know where it is.
Okay.
It's locked away. Jalen Hurts. Talk to me about
Yes.
Hurts, man. He looked real good.
He does. And, I was glad I sold some big stuff. And I'm almost to a point that I'm like, wow, I don't have any more Jalen Hurts. I had like the black that I don't even bring to shows anymore
Right.
because I kind of put it away because I don't even want to get tempted to sell it.
Right.
And now, after that loss, there's like 2 weeks that his cards really drop.
Mm-hmm.
Drop, not like crazy, but still drop.
Yep.
Like his NT went for like 12,000, went to like 8,000, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, and then I had a couple of good offers that people are like trying to get out on big cards. So I picked up a couple of nice, crazy black boxes NT, recently
Yeah.
that I'm very fortunate that I paid like probably half of what the regular NT goes for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's if you could get some good deals that because they look good right now, and I think he's just improving. The team too, the confidence.
What's
I'm
funny
not saying
is
they're gonna win it all, but.
when I said sell him because he was
Hmm.
undefeated, that was the
Hmm.
right play. And you're
Yeah,
seeing the price on that because his price came down. And some of the high
yes.
end stuff, it
Hmm.
knocked a third off of his price. He went from
Yep.
12,000 to 8,000. But
Yep.
what's funny is, I would say if they're still at 8, which they're probably not going to be for too long, I would almost be a buy right now on
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts. I would be a
Hmm.
buy on him because I think he is
Yeah.
clear cut MVP right now. If the season ended today, I think he would win the MVP. I do.
I
And
thought it
Mahomes
was
had 3
Mahomes.
more picks today.
I know, yes. So, but they're winning. So
Yeah.
sometimes people don't watch, don't, I mean, if you really look, it didn't look as good, Mahomes today, but people just going to see the stats, because he still threw for like, I don't know, more than 300 yards, something
Yep.
like that.
Yeah, he had a good
So,
game, but he had
yeah,
3
he still
picks.
had a good game,
It was not
but
his
the three
typical
picks,
performance.
exactly. But you could see I'm talking about Hurts now. He's just making the right good play. He's not forcing stuff, and you could see the certain confidence in the team. And Miles Sanders is just, killing it right now,
Yeah,
helping, the offense even more.
good run
And
game is
yep.
very helpful. You got a good wide receiver. You got a good offensive line,
Hmm.
and Dallas looked beatable today. It was, I mean,
Exactly. I think the last two games, Dallas, I thought before Hurts lost, I thought Dallas was the team that could kind of take them down, a notch. But the last two games, they didn't look so good. So I don't know what's going on with that team. But yeah, I was a little worried too. I'm a Giant fan, but oh man, they got shellacked.
yeah, they got beat up. It is what it is. But I
Yeah,
mean, listen, you have Hurts, you have the Giants, you have all kinds of fun stuff. But I mean, Hurts,
yeah.
right now, if I was given an MVP vote, I'd be voting for Hurts. Just, the team looked really good today. It's got
Hmm.
one loss, right? And
Yeah.
I think, by the time they vote, he'll be the 1 seed, which is going to be
Yep.
huge this year, right? The 1
Yep.
seed is the only one you really want to get in the
Hmm.
playoffs now. And obviously the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through Philly, I
Yep.
believe. I think either San Francisco or Dallas will have to play basically a perfect game to beat him.
Well, San Francisco looked really good until now. I know Purdy played well today, but at the end of the day, playoff pressure, and all that stuff, I think, that's why I think the Eagles still have a
Yep.
little bit ahead, compared to the San Francisco. But
Yeah, I
team.
mean, as much as a
With
seller I
Debo too, I
was,
don't know how serious that is. The Debo
yeah,
injury
they said it's
didn't
an
look good.
ankle. They said it's an ankle
Yeah.
7 knee, which
Hmm.
is good, but still, you don't want him. That guy, he's amazing.
Yeah.
But my window for Hurts would be short. It would
Yeah.
basically be selling in the playoffs. You know what I mean? It
Hmm.
would be selling, when he wins the first round playoff game, just in case. I'd see who the matchup
I will
is.
sell a little each round.
Yeah.
I will sell a little. If you got it, sold them, when they were high, and then you picked up some when they took a little dip. Sell them slowly. First round, sell a bunch of them. If you want to hold on to a couple just in case they do get to the Super Bowl, stuff like that. And if they do lose in the Super Bowl, I mean, he's still going to be good next year, I think. But
I agree.
I sell majority. If you could.
And I'll ask you this because it's tough. It's the DM that I send the most. And people are like, "Hey, you on the Jalen Hurts train now?" Because I reposted the story
Hmm.
today about Hurts. I think he's great, right? And I compared him to Lamar Jackson, and I do that for a reason. I do that because I want people to be mad at me when I post that, but I do it because I want people to open their eyes. People who weren't watching Lamar's MVP season, right?
Hmm.
I do it because here I am saying buy Hurts, but in a couple of weeks I'll be saying sell Hurts.
Hmm.
Just like a couple weeks ago, I was saying sell Hurts, and now I'm saying buy him. Why?
Hmm.
You have to know your windows you're playing in. We make fun of the
Yep.
people with a lack of patience, right? But I wouldn't be buying a Jalen Hurts card to put it in my vault and save it forever, right? People were doing that with Lamar Jackson, and I'm sorry, Bernie, but I mean, we saw what
Yeah.
happened with the Lamar, the Shield, right? The
Yep.
Lamar one that just
Hmm.
sold. I mean, if that card would have sold at the peak of
Yep.
Lamar, like
Yeah.
when Lamar was Hurts, right? When we were watching that MVP season and we thought he was going to win the Super Bowl and he was
Yep.
better than Mahomes and came out
Hmm.
of nowhere and blah blah blah. And if you just sold, it would have been 3 times as much money. So
Definitely.
you
And
have to
it's at the
learn
peak of
from
the
that, right?
market too at that time.
Yeah.
But you also need to watch. I always tell people when you want to invest, you literally need to watch and digest. Is this a guy that's just, could put up stats? You can't just blindly watch the stat sheet on Monday. You actually have to watch his decision making. His fourth quarter is what kind of changed me a little with Hurts compared to Lamar. He's
Mhm.
Lamar's now got this stigma that he can't win in the playoff
Right.
and he can win in the crunch time in the fourth quarter. So far, Hurts has been when teams are making a push in the third and fourth quarter, he's been making the right decision. So I'm not saying he's great, but so far he's doing the right things for the team to
Yeah.
win. So that to me what separates him a little right now. And let me tell you, Lamar don't have a team. So
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. We were talking about that on our
yes,
Whatnot show this morning. But
yes.
Andrew's like,
Hmm.
he's going to get paid. He's hurt. I'm like, he's going to get paid. Imagine if he gets to free agency, which I don't think happens. But if he gets to
Hmm.
free agency and he doesn't get re-signed by the
Hmm.
Ravens, imagine the Jets team. I like this kid Mike White, but whatever.
Hmm.
Imagine the Colts.
Yeah,
Imagine a decent team with some talent around it.
exactly. And then there
Or
are
the
rumors that
Titans.
what's his name, Belichick love Lamar. So
Yeah,
could you
I mean,
imagine him in that system and with some tools? I'm not saying they have great tools right now, but Belichick could find diamond in the rough. So to
yeah,
me,
those
I don't
around him,
know.
right?
You mhm.
There's so many
So
teams that need a quarterback, and if you go
exactly.
to it's an interesting thing. I think one of the important things you said that I'd love for Hurts fans to take away from this is Lamar Jackson. He was great. He had that MVP season, but the knock on him now is he can't win in the playoffs.
Hmm.
It's
Two
very
first
possible
round knockout. Yep. Hmm.
very possible that could be the knock on Jalen Hurts. We just don't know,
We
and
just don't
that's the
know yet.
difference, right? You know what I mean? I'm making that comparison. I
Yep.
hope for anyone who owns Hurts cards that's not a right comparison. I'm hoping that he goes to the playoffs and wins. I'm hoping he wins
Hmm.
the next 4 Super Bowls and 12 MVPs. I hope he's great. And if he wins a bunch of MVPs in a row and some Super Bowls, then he could be Brett Favre. And we know how many
Yes,
people are out there collecting Brett Favre cards. Nobody. Dan Marino never won a
that's
Super
really
Bowl. You
true.
know what I mean? So, I mean, that's
We like
unfortunately.
Marino fans, though.
Yeah, I like Marino, but I mean, that's part of the difference, and I have to explain this to
Yeah.
folks. Like, I mean, I look at it like I'm going to compare these guys who are playing now to the all-time greats. No one does that because all they're really looking to do is catch somebody on a run, like you talk about,
Hmm.
right? And then I'm going to buy it now and we sell it in a couple weeks for more. So as long as
But
that's your window, all right.
but that's the thing. It's like stocks. You just got to know when to move, and what to hold, when to hold, that sort of thing. And if you're not always paying attention,
Mhm.
there's tons of tools now, that you could pay attention to. So utilize them. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you got to watch every game, but use the tools that's available for you. The
Yep.
stats. I mean, Card Ladder is great. Even the alt app, the hot, and all that. Follow the trend, what they're doing, and follow the athlete that you're investing in.
I mean, it makes sense, right? You invest in a company, hopefully it's a company
Mhm.
you utilize, the whole deal. It's the same kind of thing, right? Make sure that you
Everything, even the schedule.
Yeah, the schedule
The
is huge. The
schedule is
schedule is
so huge.
it's a big
Yes.
thing. I mean, that was why I thought Hurts was a great investment before he started playing this
Yep.
year. The schedule is
Yep.
very easy, but
Him and
he's done
Tua.
very well. Yeah,
Hmm.
Tua as well. We'll see what
Tua
happens next
last
week.
week was tough. I don't know who to root for tonight. I'm gonna be toss up because I have a lot of Herberts too. I love Herbert's talent, and his grit, but the team is starting to come back, get a little healthy, but they could make a push. But I don't know who to root for. But let's
Tua and
see.
Herbert, what you should root for is a real close game with a lot of
Yes,
scoring, a lot of passing yards, a lot of passing touchdowns.
yes.
Both the quarterbacks look good. Somebody's got to win in the end.
Well, I
But
want both of them to make the playoffs. I might have to sacrifice the Jets. So
that's it. I think they'll be all right. I mean, listen, Mike White, I mean,
Mhm.
that dude,
I
he stood in
know.
there. He took some hits today. I like him, and the team is rallying
Yeah,
around him. It's going to be
yeah. The
interesting
team.
to see.
I'm shocked with that. Players actually like him, and the coaching staff seem to like him a lot. So
Yeah, so Garrett Wilson out there,
mhm.
the rookie wide
Yeah,
receivers, like, hey, guy puts it on the line for us, and I will do the same for him. Like you
yeah.
don't hear anybody
It's
talking about Zach Wilson like that.
exactly that's what kills me. So I think there's something about Zach Wilson that the team just don't like, or players that don't like. So I don't know. We're
Yeah.
not inside the locker room, so.
So talk to me. When's the next show? And let's talk about, in addition to what shows you're going to either in December here, because it's probably not that many, and then in January
Mhm.
as you pick it back up, and then some tips for the holidays for folks. Where can they buy stuff from you because they can't find you at shows? Because you got to buy gifts. If they didn't catch you in Philly, they can. Where can they reach you to reach out and grab one of those retail Christmas gifts for somebody who's listening to this
Whatnot is
today?
definitely the place right now to, yeah. So I'm trying to really put a lot of work and whatnot to help the app, but also help me, so if it could help me not to travel as much, why not,
Yeah, why not?
So yeah, so whatnot, and also trying to get in touch with us, I guess, and Instagram is the best way too, if there's anything you're looking for. But yeah, that's basically it.
And any shows for
I'm
the rest of
gonna
the year? The
relax.
city one?
So the promoter Laz kind of got in touch with me, and so I might do it, but I'm not sure because it's also the same day as the big whatnot event on Saturday. So either I ask Chewy to set up for the Manhattan show, and then I'll do the whatnot prep for whatnot that night. We might do that, but I like to support Laz. He's a local show in New York, so we might do that.
All right. Well, I mean,
Mhm.
listen, you just supported him. You mentioned him. That's also the 17th, right?
Yep.
City show with the
hmm
hotel, I think, right? So,
Yeah, it's right across Madison Square Garden, so it's a very convenient show, especially if you don't take, you just want to take public transportation and stuff like that. So.
there you go. And what
Mhm.
about any other shows? End of the, when you start in January, you going to
Yeah,
where are we going?
Hawaii is oh my
Hawaii.
God, I don't even want to talk about January
All
to
right. So
March. No, but I'm just saying it's fully loaded.
good. That's good,
So
though. I mean, that's
January
good.
Hawaii Con. So I think we're gonna do one more show before that, but we'll see.
All right. Well, I mean, listen, it's
Mhm.
it's holiday season. We're talking Hertz, we're talking Zion, we're talking all kinds of stuff. Anything else you want to complain about? Anything you want to complain about? Shows not not checking schedules with each other. You got Boston and Dallas, or I mean, you got all kinds of like crazy at the same time, right? No, I think it was Dallas is now at the same time as the New York one, right? Somebody messaged me the
Yes,
next like Westchester
yes,
one.
yes. It's the same time as Dallas. So Dallas has a tendency to pick shows that's matching a stronger show in the East Coast.
Okay.
So,
Is it
but I've
because those
always
don't overlap, or like why
well,
do
he
you think?
does a lot of show. He does like almost every 1.5 month,
Mhm.
and that's a lot of shows for me. But I always choose my East Coast show because to me it's just easier for me, and I think I carry a decent. I work with a lot of the promoters, so I would like to stay in my area and kind of be one of the retail people. So, but this January, it's not even like, oh, should I go to Dallas or this? This January, Pete Alonso is going to be in the White Plains show.
Mhm.
It's going to be huge. They're already promoting. I think they already sold like 125 of the early tickets for Pete Alonso. And they're going to have a trade night. And we're working on some sort of like giveaway. First 50 people that attends every day will have some sort of giveaway. So
There
we're
we go.
doing a lot of stuff for the January show, trying to promote the show.
Up in Westchester, in New York, in
Yep.
January.
Yeah,
So the
and they have
weather is good,
they have 2 rooms. Yeah.
and if it happens to snow, great, better photo opportunities with the polar bear.
That's true. As
Yeah.
long as they don't get canceled.
That's right. There you go. All right, guys. Well, that was the 5th episode of Black Jaded Wolf Uncaged. We'll come back to you probably, I don't know if we're going to do another one at the end of the year here. Yeah, not going to any shows. We'll see. We'll check in with each other, see if we have stuff to add. Playoffs football will be starting, and we'll chat with folks. Everybody likes to hear your take on stuff.
Thanks.
Take care.
Listening to another episode of Lucas, Tigers, and Bronzo My. I wanted to tell you about a new service that we have starting as of today, and I'm really, really excited to bring it to you guys. So, as a part of our partnership with SGC, we got 50 free submissions every single month, and many of you have taken advantage of that. And it's amazing that we could have the opportunity to 650 episodes, 675 episodes in, to go ahead and give back to our community. As people were sending those cards in, they asked, can we send 5, 10, 20 more cards to you guys? We'll pay for it, but we wanted them graded with SGC. You guys know SGC is turning cards around in 13 to 14 business days, have incredible customer service, and their secondary market values are going up day after day after day. And that's exciting for the hobby and exciting for the grading landscape. So we didn't want to just rush into it. We wanted to do it right. And what we did was I relocated here to Boca Raton, Florida. I opened up a P.O. box maybe 5 minutes away from SGC, and I will be hand delivering and hand picking up the cards. So you don't have to worry about anyone else touching your cards. It will be me, and I will update you every step of the way. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to personally pick up the cards from a P.O. box, prep them, new card saver, new penny sleeve, and deliver them to SGC every single Tuesday. Why Tuesday? Well, it lets the stragglers over the weekend come back through on Monday and gives me a day to prep, and it basically gives SGC the entire week to work on grading those cards. Once your cards pop, only then at the end of the process will you be paying for the service. It's $25 per card, simple as that, and the turnaround times have never been faster. We're hearing right now 13, 14, less than 20 business days. So there it is. 9170 Glades Road, number 135 is the P.O. Box in Boca Raton, Florida, 33434. 9170 Glades Road, number 135, Boca Raton, Florida, 33434. Of course, you could shoot me an email or shoot me a text anytime, and I'm always available. Many of you already have my email. It's iamandrewgoldberg@gmail.com. or my cell phone number, 215-519-9154. Reach out with any questions. I could walk you through the process. I've hopped on the call with quite a few of you, and I'm happy to do that. Love you, Luca Nation.